Hi, welcome back to my art book library. Today I have for you a review of three beautiful and inspiring books. I really like those books and I go back to them whenever I need some inspiration, some ideas for new exercises, or I want to look at some beautiful images. So the first book is Sketchbook Exploration with Shelley Rhodes, and this is beautifully published book with this um, fabric-like cover, and I think it would be a treat for everyone who is interested in mixed media. Generally, the book is about sketchbooks, but you will got a ton of visual inspiration from that book. So Shelley talks here in this book about why to use sketchbooks, about different types of sketchbook, and we can see all those beautiful sketchbooks created by her and other artists. I'm really in love with her mark making and her colors. So she showed a lot of her works, but also other artists' work. And you can see all those beautiful images. So she talks about different ideas for a sketchbook, like one a day sketch in a sketchbook. So you create sketch every day. You can have a travel journals, and she shows her travel journals, collaborative sketchbooks, different like form of sketchbook, like box and containers. She talks about sketchbook formats, materials, how we can do a sketchbook from like one page just by making like this kind of artist book. How you can manipulate pages in sketchbook. So you can make some cuts and like windows. You can stitch together different types of papers. How you can use and utilize photographs. So this book is really full of beautiful, beautiful images and a lot of like inspirations and ideas you can use. There are also some exercises you can do. She talks about working in mixed media, working in layers, also about drawing and coloring media that she's usually using in her sketchbook, about handmade tools. So many different ideas how to work in sketchbook, what to do with your sketchbook, how to um, like manipulate pages, how to prepare travel sketchbooks and travel like bag with art supplies. Different ideas about presentations using digital technology. So if you need a visual inspiration or ideas how to work in a sketchbook, that book is definitely for you. The second one is Frances Palmer, Life in the Studio. Frances is a ceramist and she creates beautiful ceramics. Um, I'm not a ceramist. I bought this book a couple weeks ago and I'm in love with that book. It's so beautifully done with beautiful images of her work and beautiful images of flowers. And what I like about this book is that she talks about her art, about her studio practice, about her approach towards art business. You can find in a book beautiful pictures of her ceramics, beautiful pictures of flowers that she arranges, and also some really nice recipes like this one. It makes me feel hungry when I look at this picture. And of course, a lot of information about ceramics. So I bought this book before I even knew that I'm going to start my ceramic classes in a couple of weeks. So I was extremely excited to read this book second time when I sign up for my classes, and I'm sure I will be going back to that book again. It's just a beautiful book to have on your shelf, and it's for me. It's always interesting to learn about other people approach towards art, about their studio practice, um, and especially if we talk about artists who are successful um, and achieved a lot. And look at those arrangements of flowers. These are just stunning. So we can see pictures from her studio. We can learn about tools she's using. So everything you need to know about ceramics, about artist life. So this book will not teach you a technique, but I think it's a very nice resource of inspiration. And of course, all those colors you can see in that book can be a jumpstart for your next artwork. I'm just in love with those floral arrangements. The third book I got for you today is Pastel Innovations by Don Emerson. And although it is book about pastels, I think it will be useful for people working in mixed media, and especially for printmakers because there is a section about pastels and printmaking. And Dawn is a great teacher. I took one of her workshops and I really enjoyed that. And she presents the same approach in this book. By the way, I had another video which I will link at the end where I create abstract art inspired by that book. So she talks in this book about different elements of art like shapes, values, colors, edges, and so on, and give some examples. That's like a base for the book. She also teaches how to make a critique of your work, and there are a lot of exercises you can do. So ideas how to use pastels um, in different ways. And there is also a section about trace monotype, and there will be a section about enhancing your monotype with pastels, and that section was really interesting for me, um, being a printmaker. And I really like art created by Dawn. She creates those beautiful paintings of animals and also beautiful landscapes. So she talks about what you can use as underpainting for pastels, watercolors, ink, printmaking ink. As I said, there's many different exercises, and here is the section I was really excited about. So monotypes and pastels, and Dawn is also a printmaker. So she uses pastel a lot in her practice, and I also like experimenting with that. So each section has a set of exercises. And I think this book is a great source of inspiration or activities if you want to do something new, something interesting, and you don't have idea what to do. You can just grab one of those exercises and experiment. By the way, if you haven't watched any other of my artwork reviews, I have different videos about books for landscape artists, about painting bold and vibrant color art, books for printmakers, and many more. So check out my playlist. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and see you next time.